Good morning. This is Bowtie Dave for Bowtie Life. It is May 20th, 2022. It's my second garden tour for the year, and this is going to be part one of three. Going to have the front gardens in the first part, the front and side. The second part will be from the blueberries, which are very exciting, all the way around the melon patches and citrus. And then the third part will be the raised beds in the back. And we got a lot of things growing this year, and I've been gone for nearly 2 weeks, and very excited to have seen what came up while I was gone, because the garden has completely changed. Be sure to check out the Facebook page for Bowtie Life and see the zucchini that we harvested this morning. Nice big zucchini, almost as big as my forearm. So we got the tripod here. We've got, sorry for the shaky video. I've got my Corona transplanter with the comfort gel handle. I've been discovering Corona and needed a new transplanting spade because we're going to be planting some stuff and we're going to be pulling some stuff, and some interesting things have been happening in the garden. So I'm very excited. So it's just all good news. But let me get the camera turned around and we will get started, because the strawberry patch is looking amazing. We've harvested a lot of strawberries out of it, and it just looks good. So here we go. So the wind has picked up a little bit. Hopefully it won't cause too much trouble. I know if anybody saw a picture of the wood chip pile, it's shrunk again as we've used some more wood chips, but it's getting there. And of course the strawberry bed with the pomegranates in it. I want to show just briefly these pomegranate flowers. I think they're so cool. This is what the pomegranate flower looks like, and you'll recognize the serrated edge, but this part up here will begin to engorge with the seeds and will become the more quintessential pomegranate. And there's one developing right now. It is coming right along. It's starting to grow those seeds and the flavor in there. Hopefully we'll get a few pomegranates here in the next few months, so keep an eye out for future videos to see that. Of course, that mint plant up there is shooting out. This is a chocolate mint plant. I put it in the middle of the bed to keep out the squirrels and rats and so forth. So far it seems to be working pretty good, and back there in the back is a poblano pepper from Nikki. Thank you, Nikki. But yeah, we're looking at 5 living pomegranate trees here in the, in this area. One of them, the very back there, died. I'm not sure when it died. I've never seen it alive, so it may have died before we got the property. But on to the strawberries. This is really exciting because we've been harvesting strawberries out of here just left and right. In fact, if you look down here, you can see there's a beauty. Ooh, it's still good. I need to get a little tray under one of my little blue trays under that. I see a spare one right here. These are just lids from our zero water filter, but when I put them on top of the little tray, the little lid like this, it keeps them off the ground and they don't get eaten out of the bottom. So we get more strawberries, but you can see there's just tons and tons of strawberries all throughout here, just coming out. We harvest these pretty regularly. I see there's a big red one back up in there. It looks wonderful, but the most exciting thing is that these strawberries are beginning to make baby plants, and just want to show you what these strawberry plants do. So you got this beautiful plant here. This may be one of the original 4 that I planted. Some of you may remember that all the strawberry plants in the front half here were from 4 seeds off of a strawberry I bought at Walmart, organic strawberry. I don't know what kind they are, but they seem to be doing very good. They're about 21 months old. From the time I planted them, they germinated. I put them in the fridge for a while, and we can talk about that more on another day. But you'll notice what it's doing right here. It's got this runner, and it's got another little plant right here. And this little plant in here where it's touching the ground, it's going to put out roots. And it's going, this will become a new plant. And then this here, you see there's another one right there. It's going to become another plant. After this takes root and starts making its own way, I'll be cutting the runner here and taking off the umbilical cord from mother plant over here, and this will be another plant. And all these plants will eventually do that. This one here, you can see it's got one runner, and you can see this runner is actually splitting into 2 already. This runner is splitting it. Look at this. There's a little tiny plant right there. That will become a plant. Since it's touching the ground, I might help it a little bit by clearing away some of the mulch. But if I just clear that away just a little bit and let that get down in there a little better, it'll be more likely to develop into its own plant, which is very cool because these things just take off. I had these things, in fact, I had the 4 strawberry plants in that grow bag. It's a 25-gallon grow bag, and I spaced them out. And by the end of the season of last summer, it had filled that bag solid. In fact, when I planted these out here back in February, I think it was, I lost count at 40 plants that came out of that one bag. And so it was very cool, very, very cool. So I've added a few more in the back there, but I'm just calling these my Walmart strawberries since I don't know what cultivar they are. But you can see over here, I just put this strawberry up on a tray, and this one here looks like it's gonna come along, but look, it's been touching the ground and it's been eaten out by, I don't know if it's ants or slugs or what, but if I keep it on these little trays, they don't seem to get eaten out so much, which is very cool. I do have a lot of nasturtium around here. Oh, look here. So here's a little tiny strawberry plant. It's on a runner, and look, this thing is already starting to take. When this thing sets root, which I bet it has, oh, nope, not quite. So once that starts taking root, and you can see it's kind of burying itself, and there's another one over there. But this little tiny plant's already got 2 runners that are already splitting off. So this little plant's gonna be, and look, there's another one right there too. It's gonna do the same thing. So these 40 some odd strawberry plants are going to take off this year and fill this bed. So it looks a little sparse right now, but I guarantee by the end of the summer, this bed will be full. Now this over here is my sweetberry, and this is a phenomenal live up to its name plant, and it's really beautiful because instead of the white flowers, it has these beautiful pink flowers. It hadn't really started doing its runners yet, so we'll have to see what happens there. Back over there I have a couple of quinault strawberries on either side of this pomegranate, and that right there is an Ozark Beauty along with this one over here. But look at this Ozark Beauty. It is starting to put out the runners. 1, 2, 3, 4 runners. It gave us a few strawberries, not real strong production yet, but oh, there's another runner right there. I just removed it from the ground. But you just want to be sure those runners stay in, those little plants stay in the sand, in the ground, whatever you've got underneath there, because they will root, become another plant. When it becomes its own plant and strong, you just cut that umbilical cord so it's no longer sucking energy from the mother, and the mother will produce more strawberries. Now looky here, this is interesting. Here's a split. This runner's about to split into 2. Very cool, very exciting. So I do have a lot of nasturtium around here. Oh, and I did do some weeding in here. I just got back from a trip out of state, last night, and I did do some weeding in here, but not a lot. And so you'll notice I do have a pretty heavy layer of mulch in here, and I keep hearing people say, well, my mulch didn't stop the weeds. Well, no, the mulch doesn't stop the weeds. It makes them easier to pull. It gives them less to grab onto, so that when you pull them, they come right out. In fact, here's a really good example. This little grass thing here, if this was in sand, it would be strongly connected. But look here, came up real easy. That's out now. Now I just go over here and lay it on the brick so it can't reroot. Here's another one right here. Look at that. Comes right up. So that's what mulch does for you. And of course, if you want to hear the story of the red rocks in here, they work absolutely. Go look at the last month's video on the garden tour to see how well these work. They're amazing. Okay, so on from the strawberries. Let's see if I can get out of here without doing too much damage. I do have a lot of nasturtium planted around here. They do seem to be, a lot of them seem to be failing on this bed. Not sure why. This right here is a nasturtium. We're gonna see a lot of nasturtium on this tour because they actually control they help to control the slugs, and they've done a very good job. I've seen very little. There's another nasturtium. The nasturtium is an edible plant, makes a beautiful flower. The flower is very tasty. It's wonderful on salads. It's got a slightly, it ranges from a slightly peppery taste to a very strong peppery taste, depending on the plant. So moving on from the strawberry bed, we've got our random Forellenschluss Romain, which is getting ready to seed out. I'm saving seed. This is a volunteer. This thing just popped up amongst the weeds and grew strong. And so I think it might be cool if we had a whole bunch of these growing strong out here. It might be kind of fun to have a edible bed of romaine lettuce to come pick. Now this bed here, the nasturtium have come up a bit stronger. And you can see there's different kinds. I do not know the different kinds. I just planted a whole bunch. I mixed up the seeds and planted them randomly, but you can see the flowers over here are starting to come out. We'll look at some here in a little bit in the pollinator garden. But some of you might remember this is the artichoke garden, and we are starting to get some artichokes growing. This right here is a baby artichoke, and then they grow up to, you'll see this one's kind of having a little bit of a rough time, been eating a little bit. I'll be optimistic about it, but it does look like it's having some struggle. So we'll see what happens with these green globe artichokes. There's another one over there as well, but we have in here, and those two tall ones back there, those are Jerusalem artichokes, and they have been aggressive growers. There's one for each of those sticks, and there is a third tuber down there, and Jerusalem artichokes grow off of tubers, and so there was a third tuber down there, and I don't think it's going to come up. So I have here some more artichoke tubers from a friend in Arkansas, Nikki. Thank you, Nikki. And we're gonna plant these up here. I'm gonna put the camera on the tripod and see if we can get these planted in some select places. But some of these nasturtium you can see are doing okay. Some of them are kind of struggling. So, anyway, let's get the camera on the tripod and see if we can get a couple of these planted with the with my transplanting trowel from Corona. So walking up the middle here, I've got I don't know if you can see, there's a green globe here, and there's a green globe back over there. That one that I showed you that was not doing well is back over there. I've got another green globe trying to come up there, but I'm not sure it's going to make it. I do have, I think 5 of these tubers, and I'm a little concerned. They got a little bit dry in the drive up here. So I'm a little concerned about how well they're going to grow. A few of these look really good. I mean, look at this one. This one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 shoots coming up out of it. And this one here has got 2 really nice ones. And this one here has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think there's one more in here. Oh, no, there it is. So there's 5, and I'm going to plant them. I looked online and it said don't plant them more than 5 inches deep. And so I think that one there, I may have planted too deep. I'm a little disheartened by the fact that it didn't come up, but these 2 came up really nicely. So I'm going to take and I'm going to come in just a little bit here. I don't know, what's that? 16 inches or so. And I'm going to plant, I need to pull back some of the mulch first. This is, you know, I really didn't do a lot of weeding before this video. And I'll tell you the truth, I really enjoy the earthiness of the garden and just the way it looks and feels natural. So when you see weeds in my garden, it's partially out of laziness, I'll admit, but it's also out of just, I really like the look and feel of a natural looking garden. So anyway, let's just put a little stick right there to make sure I remember. That one there I have good hope for. I'm gonna put another one. So I've got a green globe over there, kind of close to that Jerusalem. Oh, there's one right here too. So let's come in here, right about here. I planted these seeded green globe. It's been a long time. They're growing very slowly. In fact, I'm very discouraged. But it's okay because Jerusalem Artichoke is really what I wanted. So now this has a ruler on it, 3, 4, so 5 inches. It's about, oh, hey, Mr. Worm. This, my ground is just so full of worms. Where'd he go? I missed him. Oh, he was fast. Oh, it's just lovely to see so many worms growing here. Yeah, I'm looking how deep this hole is. I'm thinking about that one there. I may have buried that 6 inches down. I don't know. That might have been pretty bad. So, anyway, plant some of these Jerusalem artichokes. I'm just taking random sticks here, and I know they're going to come up pretty quickly. So I got one right here, one there, one over there. I'm going to come in right about, let's see, I got these. Okay, I've got a few more here. Let me clear out a little bit here. I'm not sure I want to get that close. These Jerusalem artichokes are going to, those tubers were a lot bigger than these. So they might be a different cultivar of the Jerusalem artichoke. I did some research and found at least 3 cultivars of the Jerusalem. Oh, here's one. Oh, look at this beauty. Tons and tons of worms in this earth. He's saying, hey, 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 you woke me up, you woke me up. We put them back there. Oh, there's another one right there. Just tons and tons of worms. That is good health. Worms are the first thing you want to look for in a healthy soil. So there's another good one right there. Let's give him a home back in there. You know, they talk about worm castings fertilizing your plants, and oh my goodness, worm castings are amazing. They are so nutrient rich. Let's get this guy down in here too. They are very nutrient rich, and about the best thing you can do for your garden if you don't have worms. But let me tell you something, it didn't take long for worms to come to this bed. I built it from scratch. I put cardboard down. I put 6 inches of compost down, and they have just proliferated. Let's see, I got 2 more here, both of which I'm most concerned about, but I think this one has got some some growth going on here. So I'm going to plant both of these in the same little trench in the hopes that one of them grows. I have a feeling that one of these two is not going to take. But if they both take, it's fine. They'll learn to coexist. But this one here, I think we got one little growth right here, and I don't know if I've hurt it or not, or if it got hurt in my transportation. So now these tubers are edible. They are supposed to be very healthy, and you can look online for recipes and get an idea of what you can do with them. So here's another one. Let's go ahead and do another stick there. So we got 4 sticks in the ground, 5 Jerusalem artichoke tubers. So we'll have to see which of those comes up. I'm going to have to get those watered in, of course. And in fact, I'm going to turn off this video and then go water those in real quick, and then we'll continue the tour. I'm going to have to get some drip lines in this bed. I've been working on the back gardens. You'll see a lot of new drip lines in the back over the month before. But I'm putting a couple gallons of water in here, watering them in real good. Hope I'm getting it in the right area. I think I am. We'll see what comes up. Again, thank you, Nikki, for the great tubers. So excited. Jerusalem Artichokes was my first choice for this bed. So coming off the artichoke bed, I do want to point out our Crepe Myrtles. I talked about cleaning them up. I've been wondering if they're white or pink Crepe Myrtles, and now we know. Beautiful pink Crepe Myrtles. That was what we were hoping for. We didn't know yet. In a future video, that's a date palm over there, and it needs some cleaning up and maintenance up in the top, but it has got dates coming out. So my neighbor says that thing can give about 50 pounds of dates. I'm very excited about that. But some of y'all may remember this area here. Obviously not much has happened for the updating of this. I did get this back wall set in, but this front wall still, it'll get done this year sometime. So anyway, so these are nasturtium, some more nasturtium. You'll notice there's a bunch of them, and we really like nasturtium. They're very healthy for the most part in here, but you see there's different kinds. There's this deep red one, there's an orange one down here. We have these deep purple ones. Now these deep purple ones, from experience, those are the most pepperiest. They are very peppery. Woo. In fact, some of you may remember from the last video when I tried one, it was kind of rough. These orange ones are very pleasant though, and they're a beautiful flower. I'm gonna go ahead and let's talk about eating this thing real quick. Let's turn the camera around real quick. And so these flowers, these nasturtium flowers, have this spike on the back. And you can see here that little spike on the back of the flower. I think they're a beautiful flower. I'd never grown them before this last year, but you just bite the very tip of that off, very, very tip, and suck on it, and there's a little sweet nectar in there. Just a minuscule drop. And ooh, I should have checked for ants first, but oh well, more protein. Anyway, so very sweet nectar in the very tip of that spike on the back, but this whole flower is edible. So that orange one just had a little bit of pepper to it. It was very comfortable. Good to eat. People like to put those in salads. They really dress a salad up. They make it look beautiful. So that's the nasturtium. You'll notice this this thing right here. This is an amaryllis, and if you go look at the Facebook page, that have an amaryllis back up over here that did bloom. It was beautiful. Red and white flower. You can see it's already come to the end of its life, but I did notice back here in the back there is a new tuber already forming right here, and it's going to come up with another one real soon. So friend Bill gave me that. He's also a gardener. Also, you know what I think is amazing is these Thai plants. I've never had Thai plants before, but a friend of mine, Jan, gave me these sticks from her garden. They were just in water, so I stuck them in dirt for a few months, and after several months the leaves that were left on them were kind of failing, and I thought, well, if there's anything I can do, I'd put this bed in. Remember, cardboard, 6 inches of compost, then mulch on top. But so I pulled them out of the big grow bag that they were in, and they had great roots. In fact, you can see some of the roots right there. So I was like, okay, well, let's stick them in. And so I stuck them in. I've been watching them for 2-3 months, and finally they started coming up with shoots at the bottom. This one actually came up with a shoot at the top, but this one over here was the last one to come up. And look, it's got big old shoots coming out of the bottom. So we're gonna have Thai plants. I am very excited. These, of course, are zinnias. And look at there's a little zinnia flower getting ready to come out right there. That's gonna be beautiful. You'll notice they're bigger, bigger, bigger. They get over here. We actually have one blossom out right here. Get this to focus. Yeah, this is just the first of many. So zinnias are a beautiful flower, but they don't look very amazing at the beginning, but we have a lot of zinnias coming up. I still have hope for some delphinium back in here, but I'll be honest, I don't know what they look for, so I haven't been weeding a lot back there. I have been trying to get rid of sycamore branches from our sycamore tree. I like this sycamore tree. It does drop a lot of debris, but bird bath, this is gonna get some drip lines in it also. I'm learning about drip lines and how to get them in and everything, so we'll be getting them done. Now, one thing about these bushes, this is the runner vine that we get, and you'll notice there's these little tendrils in here. The ones with these tendrils are the ones that'll choke out the bushes. So what I do is I have to come out, I like to track this down inside the bush, figure out where it comes from, and pull it out from the root. There's a bunch of those growing out of here that need to be taken care of. I've kind of let them go a little longer than I probably should have, but this year I'm more concerned about getting rid of these choking vines. So this one, there's not very many over here. I don't think, no, see, this doesn't have the little tendrils in it. It just has these little, well, I don't know. I have to follow that down. I don't think that's one of them. I think that's a good thing, but I'll have to track it down and make sure. But anyway, so yeah, the ones with the tendrils I'm trying to trace down and get pulled out at the base and get these things cleaned up. At the apartments we lived at over at Sugarloaf here in Destin, I always tended to the bushes around our building, and I would go down and dig deep for those vines and get rid of them. So whoever's doing the landscaping over there, you're welcome. Haha, I'm just kidding. See, look here, there's one buried down in here. This thing will come back up, but you see that tendril right there? Yeah, that's a choker right there. That'll choke out the plant. So I've been very diligent about getting rid of those. But these hedges that we've got, ligustrum, also known as privet hedge. We've got something white. There's different kinds of azaleas. We got some boxwood in there, more azaleas. There's another privet hedge down there just after that boxwood. And there's an azalea, and then I think the rest of that is azaleas on that side. But they come out at different kinds. They're different cultivars, so they each look a little different. It's awesome. So we're looking at the beans and pea trellis, and you'll notice up here the peas are beginning to fail. And I don't know if it's because they've come to the end of their life, they can't climb anymore. They have produced a lot of peas. And look at the Facebook page, you can see pictures of some of our harvest from this. Actually, very little of our harvest. We have gotten so many peas out of this. And in fact, whatever this one is on this side, this is a, I said the name last time, Mammoth melting sugar snow pea. These were awesome and very prolific. And so now we're not harvesting anymore, so that these pods will develop, and we will, when they completely grow, they turn brown and dry out, and you'll see there is some in here. Like here's one, it started to turn brown. When they completely dry out, we'll harvest those for seed for the next planting in the fall. But oh my goodness, these were prolific. It was amazing. Very beautiful. Lots of flowers, lots of growth. And see, we wanted to grow this to be a kind of a privacy hedge for this side yard. And then you'll notice down here, these shorter ones, this is a, yeah, I put a dwarf in here, I think, dwarf gray sugar pea pod. Should not have put a dwarf up here if I wanted to grow. I think the package said it grew up to 3 or 4 feet. Well, I don't remember exactly, but it did not perform. But next year is all gonna be this one, because this was a prolific producer. It was amazing, and they were tasted great. And oh, I loved them. I loved them. There's a chocolate mint down there. Next year we're gonna have a lot more mint plants around. The mint plants, again, keep the squirrels and the rodents away. And they really seem to do good. I don't see a lot of squirrels actually in my yard. They're yard adjacent. They're up in the trees, but they're not really in the yard. Now, I said they're failing. It may be because of the dollar weed down here. And the dollar weed is prolific. And with me gone on my trip for so long, I think they may have choked them out. They definitely choked out those dwarf peas. But my plan was that once those peas started to fail, that the beans would start to grow. And look down here. These beans, whatever they are starting to come out, and they are growing thick. And this is what I was hoping for. Look at here. There's beans growing in here. Those are the Kentucky Wonder pole bean. And they're starting to come out since the peas are starting to fail. This is something market bean. I'll have to go look in my packages, but I'm not very impressed. You know, I really didn't harvest very much. There are some turning color, but they really didn't take off. They kind of succumbed to the dollar weed. So I'm not very impressed with these. This year is all about experimenting and figuring out what's gonna last. So obviously those Kentucky Wonders did better. I could have also done better on my beds. And I'll be honest, I think I'm gonna have to completely clear this bed and do the whole thing over again. When I was doing this, I used a lot of smaller boxes, and I only used 1 layer. And you're supposed to use at least 2, and it's best to use large sheets of cardboard. It keeps the dollar weed and other stuff from growing up in the middle here. But let me show you something here. This is very cool. I'm going to walk up between here. In fact, I saw some more. There's a bunch of peas over here we're going to be harvesting. But anyway, so I come down here into the dollar weed, and oh, looky there. Woo, this stuff is seeding. And the way this stuff works, this dollar weed, look, they have these runners under the ground. Look at that. And you can pull these runners up. That's dollar weed runner. You can pull these runners up and they just grow. So what's happened is they found cracks in between the small boxes, which I shouldn't have done small boxes, I know. I know where to get bigger boxes now. But look here, this down here, I'm gonna dig down. Right here, my fingers, oh, nope, that's not a worm. My fingers are where the cardboard was. Oh, there's more of that dollar weed. Look at that. This is where the cardboard was. And if I go down deep enough, I should notice there is no cardboard down here. Ooh, there's a big dollar weed. I am down into, I'm feeling grass. I am below the bed. Here we go. This is grass leftovers. That was Bobby and Aaron. Thanks for stopping by, guys. Always good to see you too. Well, let's continue with our garden tour. So anyway, the point of that hole was that the cardboard's gone. It's been a few months now, and that cardboard is absolutely gone. So this compost is literally sitting on top of the lawn, and the grass is gone. Just the dollar weed has survived, and those vining roots just kind of creep along underneath the inside the compost just prolifically. So we're gonna have to do something, and like I said, I'm probably gonna end up clearing the whole bed, maybe even digging a little deeper, putting down better cardboard, a couple of layers, maybe even use heavy, and then also bring the bed out quite a bit more so I have more of a buffer on the outside next year. But I'm gonna try the same thing though with the peas on the front and the beans on the back. I'm gonna try better beans. I'll have to see what we can find. But anyway, so this up here in the date palm, you can see something growing. I think I may have showed this in the last video. I've got to get up there and take care of that. I did bring back my big, heavy insulated coveralls. And so I'm very excited. Here we go. Very excited about that. A grapefruit tree. There are actually some sizable grapefruits coming up. You can see there. We might have a decent second harvest this year. So we already had the primary harvest, hundreds of pounds of grapefruit. Now, something else new. I talked about this being the grape arbor, and I went over and got 10 grape pups, and you'll notice that some of these are just taking off, just absolutely shooting out. So I'm very excited. I actually got 9 pups. I'm sorry, I got 10 pups from my friend, and thank you, David. And 9 of the 10 have taken off. So I am beyond thrilled. I'm already planning on doubling the length of this, so we can host more grapes, and they will be quite a view for this front bedroom side window. So anyway, grapes coming along. The Satsuma orange trees back here, they are coming along. I will have to see. I did feed them pretty good, though I'm doubting my method of feed. I use citrus feed just because I didn't know, but I've had a few people tell me, no, you need to go get some black cow, some compost, and feed these things proper. And so what I really want to do is I want to put a covering down here that will remove the grass and maybe pin it down kind of like the millennial gardener has in his backyard, and remove the grass, and then when I want to feed it, I'll be able to pull up the cover, feed it the black cow, compost, whatever else, and then put the cover back. So the weeds, see what's happening is the grass will actually steal some of the nutrients that are going down to the ground from the trees. So a little concerned about that. I want to have these trees to have every advantage. So, but check out the blueberries. These things are starting to come out, and we're gonna start harvesting these. Okay, that was good. There are so many blueberries coming out. Little soft. That one was not quite soft enough, but look. They're just starting to ripen up. And then they're growing new shoots. You see that light green shoot right there? That's a new shoot that'll make new blueberries, but they're everywhere. So the trick now is just to harvest before the birds see them. And I think I can handle that. Look at this branch. They're supposed to be harvesting and freezing them, and so we can share them. There's tons and tons in there. There's more than I can count up in there. So that's the blueberries, and that's the front and side gardens, part one. So editing Dave here realized that I missed the asparagus bed update. And there's a amaryllis up there that's really starting to take off, and they come around the side. You can see there's nasturtium along the back that are doing pretty good, and there's some mixed in with the dollary down the side. But the exciting news is we have new asparagus. This was the original asparagus, that little fluffy thing. There's another new one coming up here. There's I think I counted a total of 9 in here now that are growing up. See if I can find another new one down here. They're very, very difficult to see. There's one just breaking the surface right there. That little tiny green thing. So our asparagus from seed is on its way. So there's another one up in here somewhere, and I'm not seeing it. They're very tiny right now. I mean very tiny. So that one, there's one back up in there that was the one we had, and it's right in here somewhere. Well, I am just not seeing it. Anyway, so we're gonna have to kind of baby this bed along, see if we can get some more asparagus growing. Nice perennial crop. There's some jalapenos coming out up there on that jalapeno plant. Look at this. Yeah, because this is jalapeno traveler. And I forget what this one is. I'm gonna have to look that one up. But these are coming along. They're starting to make some good peppers though. They're gonna be hot, like they're supposed to be. This is a herb, and I can't remember what it is. I went and planted random seeds one day just before it rained. So, anyway, one final thing that I realized I missed while I was editing was the fig tree. And you'll notice we have a ton of figs in here. Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 on that branch. There's more over here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So about 40 fig trees. 40 figs coming out on our front fig tree. This is very exciting. There's even a new branch that's popped up right here. This one down here is going to have to go, as is this one. Trying to prune these to where they grow up. Not sure that one's going to survive, but we'll just have to wait and see on that one. This is the one sitting right next to the peppermint and the artichokes. So in part 2, we're going to go over to the back garden, and that's where all the action's happening. We have some stuff growing, and if you saw the post on Facebook from the zucchini that I harvested, oh my goodness, Mrs. Bowtie and I are very excited. So that's we're looking forward to, and I know y'all tell me, anybody will tell me that's going to make more than I can imagine, and we'll end up having to give away some. But those Black Beauty zucchini are going to be prolific back there. It's already proven it. So bees are pollinating things, and it's looking exciting. So anyway, sign on for the next part of the video tour, and we will see you shortly.